Hey there, we are here. We're on the Upper West Side, just grabbed a treat, and we are headed to the Music Box Theater to see Evan Hansen again.
This is a show that's really close to our hearts, seen several times. It's going on tour all over the country right now. It's actually going to come to our city this year. We can't wait.
Yeah, it's likely coming to a city near you. We got a chance to see this at Second Stage just after it transferred from DC to New York. And then again, we got to go to opening night on Broadway as well. We wanted to make a video about it for a long time.
One of the things that we love about the show is the music, and we were really lucky. About a year or so ago, we got to meet Pasek and Paul and talk to them about how they wrote this music and how lucky they were to be able to do it.
It was awesome.
Holy cow, they are geniuses.
They really are.
The music is beautiful.
If you haven't got a chance to check out that video, it's on our profile. Definitely give that a watch.
So the music from Dear Evan Hansen, it's the type that you can picture like playing on the radio.
It's so funny to me, so many people that I know that haven't seen the show, they hear the music and they just love it. And it's kind of this gateway to the show. It's also recorded just like a regular traditional studio album would be. So this sounds a lot more clean and clear like a pop album would sound, with these beautiful arrangements by Alex Lacamoire. Love this music, can't say enough good things about it. It's likely on repeat on one of the devices in our house or car all the time.
So in its original Broadway run, this show was nominated for 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, and it won 6 Tony Awards
out of the 9,
including Best Musical. Best
Pretty well
Actor for
sweeping the Tonys.
Yeah, it killed. Ben Platt, he won Best Actor.
He was phenomenal. But the cool thing about this show is that the story is so great, the music is so great. It's just this heartfelt sentiment that needs to be seen, and it continues to live on even after Ben has left the show. I'm very excited to see Andrew Barth Feldman in this role. He was actually 2018's Best Actor at the Jimmy Awards, or the High School Musical Theater Awards. And so he stepped into this role and is playing the role 6 times a week on Broadway, which is so cool to have somebody that's fresh out of high school, that's literally like the age of the character. That's pretty rare on Broadway, so pretty cool to see that. We're very excited to go and see him. When they talk about story in Dear Evan Hansen, one of the early taglines that they said is that this story is for the outsider in all of us. And I think that that is one of the best ways that they can kind of tag or encompass the idea of this show. This show takes place in a traditional high school that could be anywhere, and it's all about Evan Hansen, and he's kind of struggling to fit in, and he's struggling with his friends and with his mom as well, and he's just kind of not sure what to do, and he ends up kind of caught in this web of lies, and starts running with the web of lies because it feels better than what his regular life felt like. And this is his journey of kind of figuring out who he is. This story is definitely just one of those strong stories that teaches you to just be true to yourself and who you are. In this story, Evan has an opportunity to kind of live out the things that he would have done and said that he maybe was too scared or didn't feel like he could through another character, and then he slowly starts to realize that he could have just been himself.
You know, there's an anthem in this show that it's called You Will Be Found, and that really is kind of the core message of like finding yourself and being who you are, and you will be accepted.
I love that the story is told through technology, and I love that it's kind of encompassing just the way that we live our lives now.
You know, it's funny, I've talked to a lot of people who are like teenagers that connect with this show. I connect with it because I feel for the 2 moms in the show, and so I feel like there's so many different parts of this show that you could really connect with. I can't wait. Let's head back down over to the Music Box and go see it.
We're gonna go jump the subway. We'll see you after the show.
Hey, we're here in Schubert Alley to talk about Dear Evan Hansen.
The dearest of
Hansens.
This show is so much fun. We had a lot of fun coming back to the Music Box to see the show again. We saw this at Second Stage numerous times here. We got a chance to see Ben Platt, and now headed back to go see Andrew Barth Feldman. This guy is 17 years old and doesn't just step into a Broadway show, but carries a Broadway show.
He is legit.
So, I mean, let's not kid around. Like, he is absolutely my first go to this show. He's so much fun to watch. He has a beautiful voice. If you've seen any of his videos from the Jimmys, and you listen to his voice then and you listen to his voice now, you can definitely tell that he's not just stepping into a Broadway show, he's maturing and learning and nurturing his voice and kind of stepping up his game. And it's funny, if you follow him on Instagram at all, he talks a lot about kind of ramping up to this 6-show-a-week schedule and kind of the things that he's done, and they have definitely prepared him really well. And I mean, outside of all of his talent and the fact that he carries the show, it is unprecedented to see a 17-year-old high school junior step into a Broadway production at all, let alone to lead the production.
That's my same number one. Andrew, it was so fun to see his take on the role, like the quirks that he chose to take on for Evan. It's such a challenging role, and to be that young and to be able to show people just exactly who Evan is and to feel all the things that Evan goes through, like it was incredible.
Yeah, it definitely was. This is not a basic show by any means. This is a complex character with layers and layers and layers of things to add in as an actor. And this is something that people are going through. I mean, every day people are living this. I mean, as a society, we're not even sure what the effects of social media would be on each other and the people around us, but this show is very much a representation of what it's like and what it can be like, and it's so neat.
So what was your number 2?
I think my number 2 is definitely the technology in this show. It's strange because I don't mean technology as in it's this big, bold thing, The technology is there, it's present, the projections are there, but they're not this big, bold statement. It is mostly just kind of this ecosystem that's happening around the actors as they tell this story. And it's very much like how social media is in our lives currently, and it's so much fun to see it again. And I don't know, every time I see this show, it just hits me in a different way. I kind of pick up a little bit different part of the message, and I was going like, oh no, I've seen the show, it's no big deal, and then by the end I'm bawling again. So there's something about this story and this message.
Yeah, to me, that's my second thing. I was kind of wondering, we've seen this a couple times, I was wondering if I would still connect to the story as much. And I went in there and I was a mess. I was bawling. I mean, yeah, granted, I'm kind of an emotional person, but it doesn't matter who is playing the roles. It's all about this like art that these people created. Like each character just connects with me in some level. Obviously, I connect with the mom more, and I bawled during her song. But I even connected with Evan and some of the things that he said and did. I was telling Bobby I feel just like him. So this story is so strong, and I think that's why it's connected with people of both young and old, and that's why it won the Tony Award. It's a beautiful story, and
so many Tony
had
Awards.
So many great cast members too, to be able to fill those roles.
We're excited. This story is now on tour. It's also in Toronto. It's coming to London this fall. It's so much fun to see something like this spread. And from the early on days when we, I had some random somebody recorded the music while they were at arena stage and then put it out there on the internet. And I remember scouring the message boards because I had to hear this music. Again, with Second Stage, when we saw it there, just seeing the show and just being blown away by it. And it was months and months and months before we heard if it was coming to Broadway, before we heard if it was a soundtrack. And I just remember being like, I need the soundtrack for this, But then when it came out, it's just so well done. It's recorded in such a way that it's just wonderful to listen to. It's recorded very differently than original Broadway cast albums are all the time. It's beautiful. These songs could just step right onto, the radio or whatever today. So.
Okay, but that kind of hits on my opportunity. Those songs are out there to the world, and so many people are listening to it even before they've seen the show. And a lot of people are coming into the audience, be it here in Broadway or on tour, and they're singing along. I had a woman behind me singing along, waving in the window, waving through a window, and it just kind of takes you out of the moment. So please, it's not an opportunity on the part of the show or the cast. Please, just don't sing along. But generally, for an opportunity for this show, I can't find anything.
I don't have an opportunity.
It's such a good show.
The opportunity is to get out and see it. And you're going to have a chance to, like I said earlier, the tour is coming across the United States right now, and hopefully to many other places as well. So, but we had a lot of fun heading back to the Orchard. If you liked this video, please drop us a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Plenty of other videos about the shows this season and last, and having a lot of fun planning our next ones as well. So, see you in the next one.
See ya.